Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn the next part of Module 3 Short Stories Toba Tek Singh Part 6th. As we are learning about the partition literature, and this is the short story prescribed for you, that is Toba Tek Singh is related and it is the theme of partition. In the previous lectures, we learned about the trauma of dislocation and other themes, sane or insane decisions of political parties, and what is the effect of the nations apart, or the partition of the nations is a lifelong one on the common people or Hindu and Muslim community, as well as Sikh and Christian community. So within a one night there is a decision, and the people migrated from one place to another place, that is from Pakistan to India and India to Pakistan, and it affects a lot their life. The people go with their luggages, whatever they are having with them, uh, put together and went to the particular countries as per their religion. And when we learn about that, it suggests us that how partition is affects to the common people. If you see the movies like Gadar, Pinjar, uh, you will understand what is the effect of partition or on common people. So here we are also learning about the Toba Tek Singh, and that is the short story which is related to the Toba Tek Singh, a person who is in asylum and he never know where he was or where he is. See, the next theme of it, arbitrariness of political decisions. Notice how in this short exchange, Manto has highlighted the unpredictability of political decisions which affect millions of lives. See, in this particular short story, not only it focuses on the partition of the common people or partition of the people on the from the asylum as well, and aha, and it is a symbolic one that it is indirectly the criticism on the particular political decisions. So, for the decision makers who remain unaffected, it is simply a matter of saying a few words. But these few words can turn the lives of some people completely upside down, making them vagabonds and aliens in the land which till then had been their home. So, how they become a homeless, people become homeless due to the partition, and it shows us the arbitrariness of political decisions. Manto is being intensely ironical when he makes this madman call himself Khuda. See, there is a character called himself as Khuda. There is a similar appropriation by the political decision makers, the self styled godmen who hold the strings of millions of lives in their hands. Those lives whose fate hinges so precariously on one word from the lips of these arbitrary gods of the strife torn world. So, here, the particular word used by the person from the asylum, he himself as a Khuda, is it is also it also shows it is a criticism on the political decisions uh, which up, uh, which parted two countries of one country. When Bishan Singh is not answered by this Khuda about where Toba Tek Singh was, he immediately launches into his gibberish, which interestingly includes few new words in it. This time he says, Oper the rumble tumble Danexi of the thoughtless of the green lentils of Vaheguruji da Khalsa and Vaheguruji the Fateh. And God bless him who says Sat Sri Akal. So this sentences also shows that how it changes one by one throughout the story. The narrator tells us that what he probably meant to say was that this god was the god of the Muslims and would surely have heeded him had he been the god of the Sikhs instead. The significance of this apparent nonsense lies in the fact that even in the madman consciousness, the realization of new boundaries is filtering in. The God who refuses to answer must be from the enemy camp of the Muslims, according to Bishan Singh. So here we can understand how narrator narrates the thoughts of the people from the asylum and shows shown us how madman's consciousness, the realization of new boundaries, is flittering in. We may think that Manto is beginning to get judgmental and critical of particular communities here. We are immediately told in the paragraph that follows about a Muslim friend of Bishan Singh who now comes to meet him and bring him favorable news of his family having safely crossed the border. This man is Faizuldin, who also lives in Toba Tek Singh and had been Bishan Singh's friend for years. So here the one of the person who is not from asylum introduced here as the Bishan Singh's friend, who is called as Faizuldin and who is a Muslim friend of Bishan Singh, and Bishan Singh is a Sikh person or a Sikh Zamindar. And when we understand when Sadat Hassan Manto used the particular theme of Bishan Singh's friend or introduced Bishan Singh's friend Faizuldin, the Muslim person. So here we can understand how the communities are united one before the partition and after partition also he come to meet him. He now tells the latter and the friend also tell him about his family members, how they crossed the border very safely. Now here we can understand how the person came to Bishan Singh, who is his friend, and really he is very uh, very particularly said about his truth about the Bishan Singh's family, and Bishan Singh becomes satisfied. He now tells the latter how he had done whatever he could to help his family to escape. Also, he said about his family to how he has uh, take efforts to escape his family. All had crossed over, but the slight hesitation before taking the name of Roop Kaur, Bishan Singh's daughter, speaks volumes of what the girl might have endured. It is in suggestive strokes like these that Manto avoids definitiveness and limitation, and also the perverse indulgence in violence so evident in writings about the partition. Here it is all left to the imagination of the readers. So we can understand how Roop Kaur suffered a lot in the time of the partition. Here nothing is explained more about the Roop Kaur, and he never told anything more about the Roop Kaur, and as a reader we can understand what might be happened with the Roop Kaur. So it is the effect of the partition, and we can understand how it is the effect on the man and women due to the partition. The writer merely leaves it at the level of suggestion rather than imposing a limitation on feelings and response. This device opens the floodgates, as it were, for the readers to imagine the horrors that the innocent girl might have faced. When Faizuldin haltingly adds, she too is very well. So he talks he lied there that she too is very well. The words ring hollow, for they are immediately followed by the information that she too had gone with them. Speaking of her in past tense can only mean one thing, that the girl is probably lost to her family now, either through abduction or death or both combined. So here we can understand how Due to the partition, the daughter of Bishan Singh suffered, and Bishan Singh already is in asylum. So, in this way, we can understand the particular theme of arbitrariness of the political decisions and which affects on the common people. In the next lecture, we will see the next part of it, and we will finish for our short stories explanation and theme of Toba Tek Singh.